I don't care if you won the Super Bowl or you finished 0-16 the year before. It's a whole new season, and knowing, it doesn't matter. Your team is going to change. You're going to be a different football team. You have to come out and do everything humanly possible to be better in this upcoming season. And the only way to do that is to commit to it 100%. Be out here, do it all, do more, do extra. Don't leave any stone unturned, and figure out a way to get better.
All right, so when you get a chance, check out ESPN.com. Casey Joyner, also known as a football scientist, writes a very provocative article in which he makes the case for Tony Romo as a top 5 NFL quarterback. Is he top 5?
No, he's not top 5.
You don't think about it for a second?
No, I don't even have to think about it. I don't question Tony Romo's ability. I think he is a really good quarterback. I don't think he's top 5 because I haven't seen the championship medal from him. I don't question his ability. What I often question about him is his leadership. And when I look at quarterbacks, they have to, not with just their play, attitude, demeanor, be able to uplift your team. Ben Roethlisberger, to me, is a top 5 quarterback. And while he may not be as stylistically good as Tony Romo, because sometimes he's out on the field and he's just doing what he does, but it's that improvisation, I think, that it helps his team kind of follow him. Your quarterback has got to be the dude that they're going to follow into the foxhole. And sometimes I just don't get that from Tony Romo. I don't.
I'm trying to think of which thing you said was the most ridiculous.
Mike, don't start. Don't start.
We've established, first of all, let's back up for a second. Let's back up. Okay. I think we could all agree. Let's get our 5 together.
Top four out there.
Brady, in some order, whatever order, Brady, Breeze, Aaron Rodgers. I'll put Eli Manning in there now.
Yes,
after this
absolutely.
season, okay, that's your 4. So the only guy that I think you can really make a case for besides Romo at 5 is Roethlisberger. And I think you base that more on the fact that we've seen Roethlisberger, and wait for it, his team advance to the Super Bowl.
They all have teams.
Precisely.
Okay.
So let's just talk about the individual Tony Romo. The second highest rated, I know you love numbers, Israel, the second highest rated quarterback in NFL history. He can be frustrating. He can turn the ball over at the most inopportune times. We talked about, you're a 49ers fan.
Yeah.
You don't remember the game this year with broken ribs?
I do.
That's not leadership, Jamel?
Yeah, that was actually, that's one of the most impressive moments he's had since he's been a Cowboy. This year, I've said it 1,000 times, this year, Tony Romo, other than the Jets game, was not the problem.
Thank you.
It was their defense this year, but it's something about his demeanor. I'm not sure he has that rub-off effect.
I'll
tell you what else. Well, when Eli's been given the opportunities to perform in, the clutch moments or what have you, he's come up big.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger has come up big. These guys have history. What does Tony Romo have a history of doing in those situations?
Messing up?
Something, even if it's not his fault, Mike, if it's not Tony's fault, something goes wrong. It's like he's got a black cloud.
I'm not absolving him of any kind of blame, and he has made maddening mistakes. But I think the difference is, and no matter how much I try to beat the drum against starting quarterback records and rings being overrated, you are judged by what you do in the postseason. Both those quarterbacks we mentioned have playoff resumes. Romo's got 1 playoff win. All I'm saying is, if you're just looking on pure ability, man, I mean, Casey Joyner's article lays out all kinds of numbers that, if you like numbers, you're like, wait a second, it's not ridiculous to put him on the upper echelon other than Roethlisberger. Who are you fighting for?
I'll tell you one right now, because he's only had 1 full season healthy to do this, and when he did it, he threw up 5,000 yards. It's Matthew Stafford. I'll take Jamel's boy, even though
you take Matthew Stafford after 1 year over Tony Romo.
Only because of the history of what Tony Romo has in terms of what he doesn't do, in terms of what happens when he's in those situations. I think Matt Stafford has a ton of potential, but I'll throw Roethlisberger in there. I'll throw Philip Rivers in there.
Well, he had production, too.
You want to talk about who's underachieved more? Philip Rivers has great numbers.
But he's got great numbers.
I know, but if you're going to say Romo's not top 5, how are you going to say Rivers is? I love Philip Rivers as much as anybody.
Numbers would lead you to believe that, Mike. If you believe so much in numbers, I believe in the eyeball test, too. My eyeballs tell me that Tony Romo, because he's had those letdowns.
You like the numbers you like. You like the numbers like
and you don't.
This many playoff wins.
I'll take my chances with a guy who hasn't been in those situations yet and see what he's going to do than what you get with Romo.
Who's the star in those situations?
I don't have a retort for that one.